Michigan's identity has long been to line up the tight ends, tight, big bodies, to run with a smash mouth attitude between the tackles. That's still true, as we will see today, but over the last several years, they incorporated spread concepts more and more. Here, we see stack splits to both numbers. This forces the outside linebackers to declare if they're going to cover the pass, usually some form of screen, bubble or smoke, or will they come in and fill the box to close the run. So let's give it a look. So here we're only getting a couple yards. It's good for a first down. But what really stands out here is, watch right here on the backside guard. He's getting through and he's making this play. That's good effort. But if this block holds up, look at how much space is between the outside linebacker and the other outside linebacker coming in. If he doesn't make that tackle, it's probably a good extra 5 yards, maybe more. If he can break a tackle, that could be a touchdown. So that's one advantage. You do see Michigan incorporating some of these concepts as a bit of a change-up in their offense. They came back to this look about a quarter later. See right here we have him. He's going to end up declaring pass pretty clearly. Here he's cheating in quite a bit. He's basically in the run game. I think there's honestly an opportunity if they have it in their offense to target this side instead. But ultimately, it's an okay play. So you'll see it. See, he's declaring pretty clearly to that side. They're going to hand the ball off. They get some good penetration. Play side, cuts back, tries to make a move. Alley defender's in there. It's an interesting change-up. It's not their core concept, but it is something they've implemented over the years. Perhaps surprisingly, Michigan's run game put a lot of stress in Michigan State's corner. We're going to watch this play in 3rd and 2. Michigan State's going to motion over. So notably, 1 on the line, 2 on the line. They're unbalanced here. So let's watch the motion. All right, so 44 is motioning in. Big key here. Anytime 44 lines up outside for Michigan, he's going to motion in. If he doesn't, an alarm should be going off in your head. They're doing something funny. He always motions in. So they're going to motion in. What they're doing is they're essentially getting this unbalanced, but you're getting basically 1, 2, here's a count, 3, 4. He's motioning in and 0 receivers over here. So there's nobody to cover in this back third. He's basically only responsible in the run game at this point. So we're going to run the play. Look at his penetration. He is the first man on the ball. And he basically saved this from being a first down. They spot him half yard short. So right here, this is early on. They're doing a good job leveraging their corners in the run support. Okay. So very next play. Instead of motioning over, he's already there. Exact same formation. No surprise. They're going to bring him in. It is literally the exact same play, just against a different front. Here they block it up well. Much bigger gain. Gets that first down and 4th down. But let's back up. Okay. Watch the corner. He is the man who makes the tackle. So right here, both plays, you're seeing right there, the corners are getting involved very successfully in the run game for Michigan State early on in the game in the first quarter. Let's go to the second half, early 3rd quarter. This looks very similar, except now 44 is lined up on the other side. All right, so really we're getting 1, 2, he's ineligible, 3, 4, again, 0 to this side, okay? So here we go, here's that motion we expect. He crosses the line of scrimmage, but what we see a lot in this game is they bring him across, and then they bring him back again, okay? So it's like a boomerang. So here, this is really no different with this almost yo-yo motion than if we started over here. Okay, it is still the exact same concept that they're running. So here we go. And then he bounces outside. So let's watch that back. Watch the corner again, okay? They've had a lot of success bringing him in. He's stepping in, and then he's beat. So a couple keys here. One, you're attacking the aggressive inside corner play. When you're attacking inside, you're bouncing out. You know that you're going to get that. But two, let's watch this right here. Okay. Watch the tackle. Here we go. He's one-on-one. Okay. He's trying to kick out. That's allowing potential penetration. Here, they know they're getting aggressive corner inside play. So we're actually going to double, and he's going to essentially log him off so that he can't protect the edge when the corner bites in. Right there. See that double? He works outside, he seals him off, corner bit, he's gone. This comes back later, not the exact same play, but we do see a similar concept here. So you're going to see this later in the next section. Michigan ran a lot of trips with 3 tight ends to one side. What they did almost every time, not always, but almost, very consistently throughout the game, they motioned the far. And then after the snap, they brought the inside tight end across. And that's what they're going to do here. But we're going to get a cutback. And then the same story. I mean, that's off to another touchdown. But same story. Watch the corner. He bites in. And he's gone. So like we just saw, we're getting trips, the bunch tight ends here. We're going to motion one across. We're going to get a kick, and then he's going to follow through. All right, so let's watch this. Kick, lead through. It's a good follow through by the running back. So let's watch that again. Now there is this, that's the main run, but there is an outside run thread. Okay, so I mean, we're kicking, pulling through, getting a block on the outside corner, but there is always this potential here. Okay, so it's a good play, good blocking, good effort, good drive, yards after contact. But what that does set up is later in the game, you get the exact same thing. Okay, exact same thing, except not quite. Instead, when he comes to block, he's going to bluff, and he's going to bluff, and we're going to get a pull by the quarterback. I mean, geez, look at that. Coming through, bluff. He's basically bluffed out of the play. And then, man, look at this block at receiver. Okay, I mean, just right here. Look at that block. I know in the cast, everyone was talking about 44, and he's a great player, but look at this block. That seals it right there. There you go. 44 gets his block. And then, geez, I mean, how often do you get an offensive player blocking this way? It almost looks like 5 is trying to block him. I mean, this is absurd how much outside they get of the whole defense to seal them off from the sideline. I mean, just, it's beautiful. Let's watch that one more time. Bluff, seal. There's your third seal, touchdown. All right, again, we have this trips right here. I believe we actually have a receiver here, so it's 2 tight ends in the bunch. But we're going to see very similar concept. Switch sides. This time we're bringing 3 big bodies. Okay, so we have a receiver here instead of a tight end, but regardless, now we're bringing a guard and 2 tight ends across the formation as our lead blockers. And look at what happens to the linebackers. They all have to react. I mean, all game, the linebackers are moving sideways about as much as they're moving forwards at the snap, because all of this motion, all of this pulling is changing where the gap fits are. So then you get to this big play to open up the second half. And everyone wonders, well, why does Michigan keep having big plays start the half? This is one of the reasons. So everyone's trying to get outside on this play, okay? And the reason for that is because the guard is going to pull around, or at least that's what they think he's doing when they pull. See that overreaction? That immediate reaction to the guard pull. They're trying to get play side. But what's different is he's just going to get around him and seal him off. When he gets upfield, it's a trap block. It's a short trap. So then you get boom, wide open. He seals himself off on the trap. Same drive, opening the half. We're going to get motion, and then they're going to use a receiver as their outside block on the corner. Let's see that motion in. All right, let's count the box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 8 on defense. Now on offense, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I count the quarterback as 8 on a read. Okay, we're equal. We just need to block it up well. So we get the motion over. All right, 1. He's going outside. He's on the safety. He's technically a read. He's backside. We're at the center here. He doesn't get the greatest block, but he gets enough to allow the running back to get play side. All right, then we have 1, and then the tackle. It's just going to seal him off, and we're going to pull the guards around. So first guy through, he's going to try to kick him. Tackle's going to come through. He'll be up on the outside linebacker. He's just going to follow him through. So let's watch that. Here we go. There's the motion. Pull, kick, through. Breaks the tackle. Doesn't get the tackle doesn't break the final tackle at the end, but that's a big gain to open up the second half. All right, so this is just some more of that triple tight end, double pulling tight end look that they got. There's another kick. I mean, Michigan's just getting great push here. Double right inside. Gets up to the second level. This is great line play. Michigan didn't use a true fullback alignment very often this game, but here we see it in the fourth quarter, trying to close out the game. Just run the ball up the middle, run the clock. So let's just watch it first before we break it down. Nice kick. Right up the middle, breaks a tackle, sheds another. It's off to the races. He gets home. That touchdown, I mean, if the game wasn't sealed, it was sealed. They ended up putting the backups on offense for Michigan State. So let's go to the sky cam view and take a look at it. So really, we're getting a kick out. That's one thing. It's like a split zone flow. And then we end up essentially getting a double here. Like they're trying to get up to the linebacker. And the safety creeps down. Got this run fit. They just get caught up in the wash here, all three of them. I mean, when I'm watching this run fit, look, you got 1, 2. He's stunting inside. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you got 1 guy, 2 guys. I mean, right here. He should be right there. Or at the very least, you got another guy coming in. I mean, yeah, someone has to be right here. Okay, that's the key breakdown. Right there, boom, gone. Now, I mean, you gotta say, again, these guys are moving left, and then elsewhere in the game, they're moving right. Not very often is it just simple for them to step up straight into a gap. Okay, so I mean, they've been going sideways 40 times at this point in the game. They're getting pulled each way. Eventually you're gonna have a bust like this, right? When a good run team just comes at you over and over and over. And so, I mean, end of the game, everyone's tired. Everyone's been going back and forth. It's what you get here. You get a bust one open. Moving on to the pass game, I really liked a lot of what Michigan State was doing with simulated pressures and blitzes, and really just making sure that in the passing game, they kept them off balance as much as possible here. Doesn't work out so well for them, but I do like throughout the game the strategy they were bringing. So here, 44 in motion, It's not a surprise. He does cross the ball though. So what you're getting here is a screen. It's not where they go though. They're going for a slant based on what they're picking up in the coverage. So here, I mean, you've got man, pretty clear. 0 safeties back. You're manned up. And then you have six guys versus 5 linemen. So you're hot if everybody comes. So let's watch. Not everybody comes, so they get 2 linebackers dropping off. Their edge comes because of that 44 motion into a smoke screen on the backside. But as a result, they do get this free rusher in his face, despite only bringing in 3 people. Okay, so I do like what they're trying here. However, this does end up being pretty quick read. He sees it. He hits the slant. 9 yards right there. But I like what they're going for, but Michigan picked it up really well. Same drive on the goal line. So we're going to get motion, a slant here. And then they're going to follow him across. I don't know exactly why he doesn't like this. I do think, it's a long ways to throw the ball, but he has a really strong arm. So right there, I do think if he checks it, I think he goes away from it a little too early. But I don't know exactly what they're aiming for. I feel like that's a throw he can make. So that said, he gets pressure, rolls out, tries to extend the play. Nothing, he just throws it away. So let's take it from this angle. All right. So there we go. All right, so we get that motion across. He checks it, doesn't like it. So one key thing right here is this move. Coming in for a little cut block. He sidesteps and gets around him. And so that puts a lot of pressure right away. And so for these crossers, which MSU picks up very, very well on this play. So really as this comes through, if he has time, there is a window back here, but that's going to take a long time. He does not have the time here. So that missed block, pressure. He gets backside pressure too. He rolls out. There's just nothing there. Throw it away. 11 another down. All right, here, another example of some really good pressure that Michigan State got. So right here, we're going to get a nickel blitz. I mean, that's pretty well disguised in my opinion. I think he does a good job here. Let's let it on once. Just see it in real time. There we go. He comes. He gets the free shot. I mean, another free shot at the quarterback. Okay, that's a couple we've already shown. And this is one drive, so that's 2 free shots on the first drive. Okay, so first off, we have, I think they're doing a 4-man slide. Right, so they're going to slide this way and do them. You're going to get big on big right here. And then running back is going to be responsible for 1 if he comes. And then 2, I'm not sure how they're counting. Maybe it's him. Maybe they do see him as a threat and count him as a 2. But he's probably got 2 out to somebody. But the key is if you get 1 and 2 coming, you're hot. Okay? So let's see it. Comes in. One thing too, this so he's looking this way. I think he's checking with that slide, but then you get a stunt and drop back. So he does come to pick up the blitz as well. However, running back's also on that. Then you get that 3-on-2. You get the free shot. So let's watch the footwork. He feels it. He's backpedaling. He's buying time. He's not bailing. He's trusting that his receiver is going to get open right here. Right? I mean, that's what we almost had on the previous play. So he's looking for it. It's buying time. Keeps those shoulders downfield. He throws it. I mean, it's not on him, but under pressure, freshman quarterback, that's not a bad throw overall. I mean, you're not making a big mistake there. It's 3rd down. You still get the field goal. You'd like that to be on him, but let's watch the other angle. Backpedal, backpedal, backpedal. Right there. I mean, he's here. Ball misses him right here. You'd love to have that back, but all things considered, I like the way he's buying time. He's keeping focused on where he knows the ball will open up. That's a fair shot. Okay, so here we have a post wheel concept. It'll be easier to see when I go to the Skycam view. But what we end up getting is quarters to this side. Okay. And then you get the post. And you get this out that converts into a wheel up. Okay. So we're going to let this play. And then it'll be easier to show you the breakdown from the Skycam. Wide open. How did that happen? Okay, so let's go to this view. So when your quarters, you've got a receiver out here. He's going to come on the post. Okay, so in your quarters, it's not country 4 spot drop. They're actually running a match coverage here. Okay, so anytime this outside one receiver if he doesn't do this, he's basically just manned up on the corner. Okay, so he's taking one when he goes deep. Then the safety, he's looking at number 2. Okay, number 2 receiver, not number 2 jersey. If he goes out, then he drops and he gets his eyes on 1 to support that post attack. Okay, because if he steps up, this post is wide open and you're going to throw the ball there. But it's quarters, so he is going to see that this man is going on an out route, short out route. He's going 8-12. He's going deep, and then he's cutting on the post. So you're going to get both quarters playing the post. So what does that do? The linebacker is flat responsible for this outside release. I mean, he's just outside the hash. He's got him beat on leverage. And I think he's also a mismatch in terms of personnel too. So let's watch this play action. You also, with the play action, you get a little bit of a bite. He's hesitating. He says he tries to pass it off, but there's nobody to pass it off to. Wide open. So let's watch that again. Out, up. See how both quarters are on the post. Wide open. Beautiful. All right, so here we have a MTO. I call modern triple options. You're just getting this run threat, but then you're also getting the pull threat, and then you're getting a flat threat as well. All right, so this is your give, your keep, and your pitch. Okay, so here we go. He keeps it. He's not coming upfield. He keeps it. He checks for this flat, but he has. I mean, they've covered this pretty well. This is about as good as you can cover it. All right, but he decides to take a deep shot. He misses, but I mean, all things considered, he gets a good inside release right there. Gets the switch release. He's open. That's a small window. He's got somebody in his face. I get it. You want that ball though. Michigan said, hey, you know what? We're going to get you one-on-one. We're going to test you. I mean, he committed a penalty once, which we'll see here. And then, he defended it well the second time with a bit of contact, which we'll also see, but got away with it. So let's see it. We're just going to get outside release. Take the shot. When you see the close-up, you definitely see exactly why this got a flag. All right, so here, he's got his face mask. All right, 5 yards, holding his face mask. So let's back up. He grabs a little earlier. Yeah, right there. That's 5 yards. That's 10 yards. He's jumping, still has the face mask. Yeah. So they ended up getting the pass interference on that play. All right, so here we covered a lot of runs. Again, we're seeing this trips bunch look. Again, though, this time we have a receiver in there. A lot of runs came out of this play. Michigan's going to dial up a play action, though, so let's watch this. All right, he rolls out, takes the shot. I mean, he throws that a bit late, and he kind of just sails it. I think he doesn't think it's there. Hesitates a little bit. Would like to see that thrown earlier if he's going to take that shot. But I guess key pieces, there is no read on this play. This is literally run, run, run. We saw the guard and 2 tight ends pulling earlier. It's a big part of the game plan. But watch 4. And this is Bell. We're just talking about him. He's probably their best defensive back. He's not fooled. He's not fooled. This could to some people look like he's trying to block and he just gets around him, but he's not fooled. He carries him, and he carries him really well. So I like taking the shot. I mean, I'd like to see that ball a little earlier if he's going to take that shot. Okay. So we got RB screen. Makes a guy miss. Again, Bell. I mean, it's big gain. It's what you want from a screen. So I guess a couple things here. One, receiver here, it does pull the corner with him. Pulls him in the wrong direction to make this play. Okay, so everyone's flowing this way, including the receiver, and that's what's pulling the only guy who really can stop this inside. All right, so late release out. Get the ball in the flat. Makes one guy miss. Big gain. So let's take that from the other look. I think you can see this pretty well. So again, watch what happens here at corner. Follows. Smart player realizes it's a screen. Michigan almost screens themselves here for the receiver and the center. But he gets out. And I mean, look at this. You got a wall of defenders, and he's trying to basically escape and pursue at the same time. I mean, tough spot. Elite player just makes him miss. All right, so here we have that other shot play that I mentioned earlier. So it's gonna be a Haas white juke. So you're gonna get these inside verticals, and you'll see one of each type of outside release here. So you'll get a hitch, and then against press, this actually rolls into a vertical. See, this can actually look like forwards. And then here, same thing, but it's pressed, so it's going to actually roll into a vertical. And then the running back is going to come up, and he's just going to sit over the ball. But he has the option to juke either way based on if he gets man coverage here. But he's going to sit in the zone on this play because they're dropping back underneath. But here we go. We're just going to take a shot. I don't hate it. It's hard to see in video. I think that's probably clean. At least it's Big Ten clean for sure, in my opinion. And he might look like his left arm's getting hacked or caught, head's not around. But it's been a very physical game all game. So I mean, whatever. You're going to keep testing them. So I like what they're doing. They're saying, hey, we're not afraid to come after your best corner. They don't get anything that time, but I like the mentality of trusting your guys over their guys. All right, so here we're going to have another play action shot. Again, we're going to show like we're blocking, and then we're going to release. So it's going to be a little bit of a leak. Okay, so the key, it's almost plays out like a slow post wheel that we talked about earlier. But you can get this vertical into a post. Just going to carry, end up carrying the safety as well. And then this delayed release, you want to just get behind the linebackers and ideally just get free. It doesn't happen. But so like this is an alert. You're never really going to hit this. This is your primary read. And then a lot of times you'll have like an extra cross underneath as like a 2 or something like that. Michigan doesn't do that. There's literally just one read on this play, like the other play action shot. So it's come through. And I think he's just thrown it away there. But again, with a little bit of a hesitation on these play action deep shots, it's like he does want to make a mistake. But right here, he pumps it. I think he can hit him if he hits it right there. Because right after he pumps, he's looking. That's the timing I think they're looking for. So I think that hesitation, I don't know why. He waits, sees the pressure, and I think he just throws it away there. All right, so here is probably the most controversial play of the game. Right here, we're getting another nickel blitz. He comes in a little bit late. He calls it out. And if you look, he sees it too. Okay, I mean, he knows he's sneaking in. Okay, so Again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 guys inside. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 7 guys on the line who could be coming. You are very likely to be hot here. You get a similar protection too with, I think this is still a 4-man slide. Though again, he might come back. I don't remember. And then he's big on big. And then running back's going to be picking up the blitz. Okay, so it's like basically the same idea. So he comes in, he's backpedaling again, he's keeping his head downfield, his shoulders downfield. That is good, but the key here is I think he thinks this is going to open up right away. I think he has a hot right here, and Michigan State does a good job with their sim pressure dropping and taking it away. I think that ultimately causes him to pause and make the mistake that results in a fumble. I mean, one thing, I think you're hot here. I don't know if they don't just sight adjust or something of that nature, hit the slant. I think really the hot must just be built in right here. He's trusting it, and it's not there. So he needs to throw it away. He's in field goal range. Don't make it harder on your kicker. You have a good kicker, but don't make it harder. And don't risk a fumble like this. So, freshman play, you do like to see him try to make something, but at a certain point, you just have to accept that, you have to live when they're down. So, got bailed out. This was ruled offsides very controversially. I mean, live, I thought it was offsides, I'll be honest, as did a lot of people, and clearly the officials. I mean, that's as close as you can get, right? I would like to see, offsides is one of those penalties where I could see a good justification for having that be reviewable here. This is clearly a very critical moment of the game, but regardless, it's not reviewable. That's not how it works. Michigan catches a break here. And ultimately they get to keep the ball. All right, last play we're gonna break down. We're gonna get a little Ohio concept. Yeah, sorry for calling it Ohio. That's what I always learned it as. I know Michigan definitely does not call this Ohio, but it's what I know it as. So we're gonna motion over, get 44 wide. He motions in as always. Play action, and he's just wide open. So you can't really see it on that initial broadcast view, but if we go to the Skycam, let's take a look. So again, this ends up looking a lot like quarters again. So you have your 2 receiver here, your 1 receiver's out here. So you're going to get basically just a go, okay? Which you're getting on the Ohio, and then you're going to get a deep out route. Now what's going to happen is in quarters, you're going to get, again, that outside receiver is going vertical. So you basically get a man match. Now then the number 2 also is going vertical. So you get a man match. But let's watch this. He has good leverage inside. Look at this when he cuts. Look at the horizontal distance and also the vertical distance between the two. And he just rips it in. Good arm. I do think there is some concern against more elite teams with elite safeties that this could get jumped. I mean, with the timing of the drop and when he throws it, if that's a little tighter, I think that could be late if you have a really talented safety who plays more aggressively. But overall, hey, you know what? You got a chunk play. He was wide open. You're going to take that every time. All in all, guys, thanks for watching. I had a great time watching this game, rewatching this game, breaking it down with all of you. If there's anything else you want to see, questions about the team, I'd love to look into them. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.